Hi Virgo, this is Morgan with Compass Rose Astrology, and today we're going to be doing your tarot and astrological reading for the month of February. And first we're going to go through the astrological transits that you might be experiencing, things that are going to be popping up for you, and we'll see how that relates and shows up in the cards, because certain places might be more activated for you depending on which planets are activated for you. It's kind of like Time Lord techniques to figure that out, but I won't go too much into the depth of that, but we'll see what the cards have to say for you, and we'll then do an oracle card pull for you afterwards to kind of tie up the meaning. And just to let everybody know, these are readings for your sun, moon, and rising sign. I typically do it by, obviously, the rising sign, so that's more what these readings are kind of intended for, but it does help to watch some of the other videos as well that might resonate with you. So, yeah. Sorry, needed some water. Okay, let me just talk about the transits happening right now. So I think for you, Virgo, as a Mercury-ruled sign, I really think your 5th house is being activated most, and your 7th house, because that's a very strong angular house, and the 10th house, because that's another strong angular house. So what's happening in the 5th house is Mercury is going to be going conjunct, which means it's passing right over. It's going to be like sandwiching on top of Pluto. Around like the mid of the month, and then a couple days after that on the 15th, so this is happening on the 10th, and then on the 15th, both your 6th and 7th house are going to experience conjunctions as well. So we have Venus and Neptune going conjunct at the same time as the Sun and Saturn goes conjunct, which, and I think that's huge. I think that's the biggest transit of the month, and it's just going to be lighting up your 6th and 7th house. So what does that mean, right? So having Venus and Neptune come together, those are typically the archetypes and symbolism of kind of like total, sweet, beautiful intoxication of another person. It's like divine romance, it's natural kindness and like compassion to others. And this is kind of at odds with what's happening in your 6th house, which tempers that really beautiful, really soulmate connection that's really happening in your 7th house. So if you're partnered up, I really do think this is a beautiful transit to have. It could just mean a really deeper connection with your partner, or could lead to possibly meeting someone if you're not partnered up, or just experiencing something really beautiful with somebody that means a lot to you, like going someplace with someone, or having one of those really perfect moments, if you know what I mean, where you're just come to appreciate everything around you. Like it's just one of those really clear, perfect moments. I think that's happening in your 7th house, so that's really, really strong for you. And it is kind of tempered by the Saturn and Sun transit happening in your 6th house. So there could be something a little more, I want to say like stoic, a feeling of like self-control, and a focus on your legacy in the 6th house, which could be focusing on your employees, it could be focusing on pets, it could be something that comes from that sphere, that environment, that provides a tempering to the really nice, sweet devotion here. And it's not bad, it just could slow it down. It could kind of draw it out over a while. But let's see what the cards say, what kind of symbolism you might be experiencing right now, Virgo. My beautiful Virgos. So happy to be doing a reading for you guys. So what I just realized is I forgot to cleanse the energy. I just jumped right into your reading. We're going to keep those cards, but let me just cleanse a little bit. I have a cleansing candle that I made and a sage bundle that should just clear a little bit of the energy here for you. So thank you, Spirit, so much for providing clear and quick messages here for Virgo that provide highest good and most purpose and sense of love and compassion from you, Spirit. So thank you so much for your help and your guidance of these messages. So I think first and foremost, to come out with 2 swords and the Magician, I'm wondering if you are quite stuck in your thoughts here, Mercury ruled Virgo. You're like, yeah, duh. So there's just this kind of sense of, let's see, wanting. So the 2 of Swords and the 7 of Swords, it's very interesting. So we have the 2 of Swords here with the 2 of Swords also with the Magician. Actually, that's a wand. But he does have a sword, and you have 7 other swords over here. That really indicates some mental, I don't want to say turmoil, but there's a lot of activity here for you, Virgo. I think perhaps there was an event that happened that made you feel, perhaps there's someone in your life that makes you think that you're trapped. And I just say someone because your 7th house is very lit up at the moment. I'm not seeing any cups here besides the Magician's cup, to indicate that it could be a person, but there are other people on this card as well with a 7 of Swords. So anyway, I'm seeing that maybe there was a situation here that made you think that you were trapped, and it's transformed. You've transformed the situation completely, because you've taken it into your own hands to walk away from this feeling and to walk away from that sense of being trapped. The 7 of Swords can sometimes indicate deceit, but in this case, I really feel with like this Magician card right next to it, is that you're making your way out of something probably a little bit toxic and a little bit like poisonous to your thoughts. That, and maybe even thoughts about yourself, because 2 very prominent singular figures, it could have made you feel like really insecure about yourself, or make you feel ashamed of like doing things that you preferred to do, or putting down, could have been boundaries too, because the 2 of Swords has the mountain in the background and the water in the front that really cuts it off from other people and other things. But the Magician is the embodiment of personal power, right? And self-control. And I think that here we are, there's a sense to just, that you're coming to terms with the fact that you're allowed to take an alternate path that might not be approved by everybody. Especially when it really speaks to your heart. I'm wondering if like it was somebody at work that said something, or somebody that you consider yourself, maybe you're older than them, or you have more experience than them, and they said something and it made you feel really trapped and unappreciated possibly, and so you took it upon yourself to be like, you know what, I don't need that. Yeah, okay, exactly, okay. Oh gosh, that's way too many. We don't want the whole deck. Not the whole deck. Goodness. Okay, sorry about that. I'm just going to reshuffle just to kind of make sure. That was a lot coming out for you, Virgo. So let's get one more card for Virgo. Okay. Yeah, okay. Okay, so we have the 6 of Cups on the bottom. This is fascinating, Virgo. I really do think that maybe you're really stuck in your head about this situation. And the reason I say this is because we have 2 major arcana, and on both sides we have sword cards for both sets. There's really this sense of needing to I think your inner child, this is like my inner child card. your inner child has to be healed in order for you to go forward with this. And it's also maybe triggering a lot of situations that your inner child had to deal with. So we have the Ten of Swords strength and the Three of Swords. I think in the midst of all of this stuff happening around you, maybe this like kind of this message that came to you from this other person, it caused an ending of sorts. And you're feeling like you lost something. And it doesn't have to be the loss of a person, but it could be a sense of real mental anguish over what this person said or did to you. And it probably struck up a lot of things that you remember when you were a kid that might have happened to you similarly. You know what? I'm going to get a clarification on the Two of Swords and Ten of Swords, because these are like bookends besides the Ace of Swords. So let me clarify. What is this? Page of Swords. Yeah, so it was definitely a message from somebody. Can we describe this person? Ace of Pentacles. So perhaps this person had some earthy signs in their chart. So they could be, I think this is definitely a Taurus. It could also be an Aries. And I think a message came towards you that was supposed to bring you some sort of stability. And instead it just knocked everything down. Like maybe it was someone that, just as an example, it could be like someone within your co-working group that was like, hey, there's this new promotion going on, and it could be in your 10th house, because your 10th house does have Mars in it, and it's been in there for like 7 months now, right? And this is the last month, thank goodness. Maybe there's a promotion coming in, and, we just don't think you're ready yet. But there will be plenty of other opportunities coming in. And instead it just like sent you into this kind of tailspin that's like, what do you mean I'm not ready? Like, what if I wanted it? What if I really wanted this position and this thing that could bring me some sort of abundance and stability? And like now you're like stuck in this other spot where you are good at it and you're okay at it. You definitely have all of the strength and the means to be really good at what you're doing where you are. But you wanted to put that worth and that work ethic and kind of wherewithal into something new and something better that could probably provide you more stability. This could also be, if it's like a friend or someone, because this is a it's in the 7th house. It could also be, honestly, a romantic partner that might have said something that was like, I know you really want to, maybe I know you really want to move for this job, or you really want to move or start a new entrepreneurship, but I really don't think this is the right time. And it's like, you're sitting here, you're like, yes, it is. Like, I know we can do this. I know this is something that will bring us success, but you're really stuck in your head about like, how do I balance what other people are saying to me with what I feel and what I think? Like, how do I do the right thing? And is it the right thing always what people want from me, or is the right thing what I want? And okay, let's get a last card for Virgo. Any advice? Wonderful. Excellent. Oh my gosh, this is so funny. Okay, so we have 2 pages here. Often they're red, and you have the Page of Swords over here too. So I really think, I've had a reading like this once with one other person, and it didn't go, I'll be honest with you, it didn't go the way I wanted it to go, because I wasn't fully honest with this person, because it wasn't easy to convey the message, because I didn't want to hurt their feelings. And so I'm wondering, Virgo, if perhaps the person that gave you this message also didn't want to hurt your feelings, but had to be honest. You know, and this could even be completely reversed. Like perhaps you conveyed a message to someone and it hurt their feelings and now they're kind of down in the dumps about it, but you're like, this is the right thing, you know? Like it's just not. Sometimes you have to put aside, like the pages are kind of the more condensed versions of these energies, and so when you have the Page of Wheels, they're focused just on prosperity and wealth and the material side of things, whereas when someone is embodying the Cups, they're focused just on their emotions, how it makes them feel, and how to deal with that, basically. And sometimes that's it's not diluted enough, you know. It's really showing that with the Six of Pentacles in the middle, when you balance each other out, when you have a good give and take, and you don't focus too much on one side of things, that's when you can come into harmony and make a good decision and figure out what the best course of action is. But in the meantime, there's a little too heavy of an emphasis on reactions and intentions here. There's got to be a different way to approach things, because what we're not getting at all in these cards are wands. And there is the wand in the Magician card, and I know that like you're fully capable. You have the ability to bring that wand into action, and there might just be, the card might be telling you that it's important to readdress a situation, and not from a situation of just considering the material side, just considering the logic and the reason and the cards and the swords, and not just approaching it from an emotional side either. I really think, oh, that's so funny. Yeah, so the message came in, it was definitely about like what the most reasonable and practical thing to do is, and you're possibly thinking about it from just a different perspective. So let's see what the oracles have in store for you, Virgo. I love it. It's so good. And don't get too stuck in your head, Virgo, because sometimes it's really easy to do that when you're stuck with Mercury as your ruling sign, and it's heading over and hitting Pluto. So it could be, even if this is related to your 5th house, before I get that card, it could be related to kids or something creative, something that brings you a lot of passion and joy. It could even be related to sex or something, like how you physically relate to other people. And maybe your person. But if it is in regards to this really fun, and I say that sarcastically, fun Pluto conjunction happening here, don't, like, this kind of causes like obsessive thoughts and really stewing and ruminating, because Pluto just like wants to destroy a lot. So sometimes you have to just kind of go with that flow of redoing, rethinking, reapproaching, because what you were doing initially wasn't working and it was just making you feel really, really low. So that's just, if that makes sense, that's my only advice. Here we got radical self-acceptance. You are perceived the way you perceive yourself. This is really interesting, Virgo. I'm kind of curious to see how this ties in, because maybe it was that things were taken a little personally with this emotion card, like having your idea not taken right away or not being taken seriously right away might have like knocked you a little bit. So let's see. I'm going to read from the guidebook. So it says that the relationship you have with yourself informs how you relate to others. The way you see yourself affects how you perceive others and assume how they see you. The expectations you place on yourself are reflected in the disappointments you experience from and the judgments you make upon others. When we only accept the best parts of ourselves, we mirror such conditional acceptance towards others in the world. Drawing this card calls for a time of deep reflection. List all of the things about yourself that you have ever wished to change. What was it about yourself that you were rejecting, and why? Where did that story come from that suggested something about you is wrong, not good enough, or needed to change? Whose belief was that before it was yours? As you meditate on the answers to these questions, is it negative and oppressive energy that comes up for you? If so, this is okay. Breathe. Write a letter of gratitude to your shadow parts, letting them know how you appreciate how they served you and stood by you the only way they knew how. Take them into your heart as they are and celebrate them. As you do this, notice whether any positive or positive energy, powerful or positive energy, comes up for you. If so, good. Breathe deeply into it. Allow all of the positive, compassionate, and loving energy to marinate through every atom of your body. To complete the healing process, make it a daily habit to give attention to all that you are opposed to what you are not. The power of positive self-regard will propel you ever forward and dissolve the density of negativity. Deliberately do this until it becomes natural to live each day with a place of radical self-acceptance, value, and appreciation. When we radically accept ourselves, we become luminous. When we force ourselves into shapes, roles, and pursuits that are not authentic, we compromise our true potential and radiance. The Guardian encourages you to accept yourself totally, to unconditionally open to your full potential. Live your bliss. Your light will illuminate how beautiful life is. If that couldn't get any more beautiful, I don't know what it could. Virgo, this is such a wonderful reading, and I hope this resonates with you. Let me know if you have any stories or anything that kind of sounds similar to some of the astrological transits that are happening, or if you have anything to share that would resonate with this reading as well. And until next time, Virgo, I look forward to another video with you. Bye!